Hello and welcome to Antique Needleworkers. My name is Shellie and this is a channel about cross stitch and all my crafty endeavors, and I'm so glad that you have joined me here today. Well, hello my friends. It's been 2 weeks and I'm back. Last video, boy, you guys really answered my questions like I had asked you to. And since then, as many of you know, I had asked the question about, would you like to have a Zoom stitch-in with me? And we talked about a Facebook group, and oh my goodness, in like just a little over a week, I did start the Facebook group and there's over 1,000 members. So thank you so much. I heard you loud and clear, and then you just came right on through. And so if you did not catch the last video, I had talked about how this platform right here, you get to see me all the time, and I get very frequent comments about how you'd like to meet me or stitch with me, etc. And I said, you know, we can do something about that. And so last video I had talked about that, talked about a Facebook group, talked about a Zoom, and your feedback was phenomenal. I just think you guys are the greatest. I have really enjoyed since I started the Facebook group. If you did not know that, if you're not on social media, and if you want to pop on and to Facebook, there is a brand new Facebook group called Antique Needleworkers Circle of Friends, and it is a private group for all of you who are my followers, and you have been so lively and so welcoming, and of course you're just your lovely self. And so if you haven't done that, run on over. So it's just great. And I am planning on doing my very first Zoom stitch with you guys. And so you have to be a member of the group to be able to do that. All the information is going to trickle through the Facebook group. So if you haven't already, and you go over to Facebook and you request to join, answer the 2 questions. There's about 10 people who have not answered their questions and they're still sitting in queue. But answer your questions and agree to the rules of the group, and I will admit you immediately. And it has it's just so much fun to have even more connection with you. You guys are so phenomenal. Stitchers are the best people in the world. So I've so enjoyed that. So I've had that since I saw you last. We've had Valentine's Day, which was very sweet. And my favorite thing is to see the little faces of my grandchildren when they get their little Valentines. It's so sweet, and they made sweet Valentines for me. And I've been doing some stitching, and you're going to get to see that. I took a road trip last week and went to Findlay, Ohio, and went to Craft Gallery. That was so wonderful. I am so thrilled that I did that. I took a piece up to leave with Paula, and she lived up to every bit of her reputation. I laid my piece down on the table, and it took her less than 2 seconds, and she laid down the most magnificent molding for my frame to be made from, and that's going to be fabulous. I can't wait to see it. She was so lovely. I got to spend a little bit of time with her, and she had told me about how her and Carlton had lived in this antique Victorian, and took me in the office and showed me pictures of it, and it was just so neat to talk to her with their love of old things like me, and I just loved getting to know her a little bit, and just absolutely, you'll see in my haul, enjoyed going up there. They had the Super Bowl sale, and I was able to get a few things up there, and then spent the day in Findlay and drove around and went antiquing a little bit, and went with a few friends. Had a wonderful day, and I can't wait to go back up there. I already have a you know, a piece that's very ready to be done, and I can't wait to take it up there too, because I know it's going to be in excellent hands. So if you've not been to Craft Gallery up in Findlay, Ohio, if you're in our area, you really should go. It's about 2 hours, 37 minutes from my house. It was so worth the drive. I was exhausted when I went home though, because I'm going to tell you, we drove up, spent the day, antiqued, drove home, and I was really tired. And then the next day, I had what I call the winter soiree, which is I gather the baby ministry members here in the mill, and there were about 50 people came to the house, and we had a wonderful meal together. And so that was the very next day. So I had prepped on Thursday a whole bunch of stuff before Friday going, and then Saturday had the soiree, and oh my goodness, whew, I was tired by the time the weekend was over, but it was a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So those are some of the things that I've been up to. Been watching a little Flosstube, and catching up with some social media, seeing what everybody's out there doing, and I'm sure you're doing the same. It is very cold out in this Ohio day. There is snow. Of course, we are in those interchangeable weird months where you just don't know what you're going to get. Daggone it. You know, we were wearing short sleeves last week, and it's freezing and snowy today. So those intermittent days, but you know, we'll get through them. If it's going to be cold, just stay cold so we can get used to keeping the parka out. But the tease of wearing the short sleeve shirts, oh, that was not nice, Mother Nature. So anyway, those are the things I've been up to. And so I have all kind of stuff sitting here, and so let's just get to it. I think the first thing that we need to do is I need to tell the winners of last videos giveaways. And so I've got those right here in the pink basket. And I had a grouping, and these were from Fat Quarter Shop. They sent a wonderful load of giveaways for us. There was the Stitch Cards S from Lori Holt. There was Henrietta from the Chicken Club. And there was the Mini Simple Signs for their new Stitch Along series. It was #1, Love. And then I thought this was just so cute. It was called Tea House. It says, "Oh, there's nothing like staying at home for real comfort." And so that was Tea House. And the call word for that was home. And the winner of this bundle right here was Chris Cook 5703, and that's KRISCOOK 5703. Chris Cook, you are the winner of this Fat Quarter bundle, and if you will contact me in my email address below in the information box, I'll be glad to get those right out to you. Congratulations. Okay, our next giveaway, there were 2 quilt patterns by Kim Deal, and it was Flirty and Sundrops and Starflowers. And the word for that was quilt, and the winner of that is Jerry and Jan's 9476, and that's Jery, the letter N, JANZ 9476. You are the winner of the quilt patterns. Contact me and I'll get those right to you. Congratulations. The third giveaway was a bundle that I called Winter. That was your call word. And all of these patterns were winter. There was the January Snowman from Fat Quarter Shop. There was the Jolly Snowman. Fa La La. It was the Simply Signed Pattern Series #6. As well as the Stackables, the December Stackables. And as I said, the word for that was winter, and the winner of that is Creative Collection DIY. Creative Collection DIY, you're the winner. Congratulations. And then I loved seeing all the sweet comments when I talked about the Nana Stitcher Terry, and her daughter Michelle Antoinette sent the 2 bags that she had purchased for her mother, but then she donated them to us. And there are 2 winners for this, and your call word was Stitcher. And the first winner is Bonnie DaCosta 8003. That's Bonnie, B-O-N-N-I-E, DaCosta, D-E-C-O-S-T-A 8003. Bonnie, you have won one of the Nana Stitcher bags. And then the second one was Jenny Gilbertson 4964. That's G-I-N-N-Y. Gilbertson 4964. You two will receive one of these 2 Stitcher bags that were donated by Michelle Antoinette in honor of her mother, the Nana Stitcher. I was thrilled to death. A lot of you got to meet Michelle. She joined the Antique Needleworkers Circle of Friends Facebook group, and she posted in there, and I loved that so much. And she was able to interact with you guys, and that just touched my heart and was so exciting to me. So I'm really glad that got to do that. Okay, so I've got all kind of stuff sitting here, so let's get right into the stitching. I will show you my Stitcher's Planner. This is my Stitcher's Planner for the month of February. I had 2 stitching finishes and 1 other finish, and I will show you those. The one that is, well, it's somewhat stitching related. I was part of the Susan Stanley Mary 1840 quilt. She did a series to teach hand quilting. Now, I already am a hand quilter, but I wanted to be part of this. And there is some stitching because you made your quilt tag. And I finished this. The only thing I had to do was to, I had to just sew that on. That was the only thing keeping me from mine being done. You had 3 different ways that you could bind your quilt, and I chose to do the fold over method because I genuinely loved the backing, and the binding that Susan sent, although it would have looked beautiful, it was a red, and you would have done an applied binding. I thought, you know, I just taught my granddaughter about a year ago how to make her first quilt. And I taught her how to do what we lovingly call a flip-flop or a pillowcase quilt, where you make the quilt and then you put it face to face with the backing, and you go all the way around the edges, flip it inside out like a pillow, iron it down, and then top stitch around the edge. Now, that's the simplest way to teach someone how to finish off a quilt. And but one of the methods was the fold over method, where you left your binding wider, your backing piece wider, and then you folded it twice in, and then you hand stitched it down. And I did that because I thought, you know, there is a dog here. The Chihuahuas are in here with us. Anyway, so I thought, you know, that would be a method that I felt like I would teach my granddaughter or my daughter to do if I was teaching them how to quilt. And so I did that. And Susan did, as I said, she gave you some linen, and you cross-stitched on the linen and then left a raw edge and fringed it and then hand-stitched it onto your quilt. So there was a little cross-stitching on there. And the only thing that was holding me back was, I had finished it back in December, was I simply just needed to stitch the patch on. So that's all I had to do, and now it's all done. And I have downstairs an antique doll buggy. And there's, I was gifted by my neighbor this doll. They're those for real dolls, and they almost kind of feel real. And everybody in my family hates the doll. They're like, get that ugly thing out of there. And I'm like, no, I'm going to leave it in there. So anyway, I am going to take this down, and I'm going to cover said doll in the antique doll cradle. So that was one of my fully finished items for this last 2 weeks. And then in our newsletter from the Queen City Sampler Guild, there was a pattern within it, and it was drawn by Queenstown Samplers. And I cannot show it to you. It is a freebie, and I will put a link below in the description box for you to go and get the pattern yourself from Queenstown Samplers. But I stitched it and fully finished it, and this is it. I stitched this on 36 count Lakeside lentil. These are antique buttons and some silk ribbon. And I did this with, I grabbed a spool of red Avera Swal 103. And I'm not sure what it was. And then this is how I finished the backing. I left a little hole, did a little wool applique, and put a 2024 little charm on it. And this is the backing is a French General fabric. And so I just think it just turned out so pretty, and I love it. And I'm going to sit it on my table over here. I have a whole table full of pin cushions that I've done, and I'm going to sit that over there. So I love this, and I will make sure that you have a link for Queenstown Samplers so that if you would like to stitch this, you can. So that is finish number 2. And then I purchased the Pennsylvania Prims pattern from Mojo Stitches. And I stitched this on 36 count Autumn Leaves by R&R, which is no longer available. I'm sorry, I just had a giant piece of it, and so I just keep taking pieces. But I did Remember Me. And I took this black silk ribbon, and there, look at that, there's 10 tiny little brass bells. You know, they're brass, but they're burnished. But I took this ribbon and I twisted it and I stitched it on there, and look at this. Oh, this fabric, I fell so in love with it. I have a bin upstairs, and unfortunately, this is either Joe Morton or this is Kansas City Troubles. I have this huge bin and I have nothing but Kansas City Troubles and Joe Morton in there. And you know, unfortunately, I can't remember, but is that not the perfect backing for this little pillow? I just am in love with this, and I love how I finished it, and it's gonna just look so pretty. It looks just old, and I love how I ruched the ribbon around it, and it just didn't look right, and I just took a hold of it and just started twisting it and then taking a stitch over it, and I do think that it framed this out lovely. So, and I used all the called for colors on that from the pattern. And as I said, that was 36 count Autumn Leaves by R&R. Unfortunately, you can't get that anymore. Both of these are stuffed with wool from my sheep, and also walnut shells. So they have a little heft to them. I like that finish myself. And so those are my 3 fully finished items. Okay, so what else have I been stitching on? Okay, well, one of my pulls for my heifer board, oops, I'm dropping things. I do this every time. I always say, I'm dropping something. One of my pulls on my heifer board for the month was Gilles Leger from Reflet du Soie. This is so absolutely beautiful. And I put it into the heifer board because if you notice, it's got this big giant pear next to the house. And for Alicia, the Fanciful Flamingos, in my rotation, I have the rose and the giant pear. And this, I had been so inspired from Deb from Country Stitchers, excuse me, when she stitched this a while back, that I wanted this in my lineup. And so I put it on my heifer board, and it was one of my pulls this month. I'm using all of the called for Soie d'Alger silks. Here's some of them in the bag. but I'm using this little, I showed you these before where, let me see if I can't get it nicely. I buy these on Amazon. I will put a link for you in the description box. You can get 4 of these, and it's got the little removable center, and you can write your symbols, or you could maybe, you know, print and copy it. But you can, you can put your needle, which I do have my needle right here, but you can also lash your piece of thread over that too. And so when you've got a lot of colors like this, and it's something like these soie that are not on a spool, this is really helpful, especially when you're changing colors, you know, willy-nilly. And so anyway, I said all that to say this: I'm using all the called for soie. I am stitching this on 36 count cream and sugar by Fiber on a Whim, and this is what I've got done in the last 2 weeks. Look at that big beautiful A. It is the prettiest pink, and the leaves over here are this just a light color with like a golden brown. It's just so pretty. And so that is what I've got done so far since I've seen you last on Gilles Leger. Oh, it's 1 thread over 2 linen threads, 36 count. And I'm really enjoying that. I love, look at these big, beautiful script letters. It's just so pretty. I do think that once I get this all done, I may spray a little antiquing walnut spray on this, so it'll get a little bit of this old and crusty look. You know, I love everything old and antique looking, so that will, I think that might be, I think I might do that. So, but I'll let you know. But in the meantime, I have a long ways to go. But I did get some work on that. Very, very excited about that. Such a pretty, pretty, pretty sampler. So that's Gilles Leger. Okay, and then I did some work on my other pull. Now, I will tell you this much. My other pull for the month was from my dear sweet friend Sylvia from Running with Needles and Scissors. Let me pull this out. It's beloved. It was my very favorite chart from last year's needlework market. And it is a lovely, lovely, beautiful sampler. And I, full disclosure, I bought my Victoria Clayton silks, using one of these again. 4 of these and several extra middle pieces is like $19. Great buy. I'll put the link down below. As a matter of fact, let me write a note to myself. Link for thread holder, because I know somebody's gonna ask, so I'll make sure it's in the description box for you. But I bought the Victoria Clayton silks for this, but I was one probably of the first people to order my silks, because I had a little in, because Sylvia is a very dear friend of mine. I got to see her stitching this when it was just a secret stitch and it wasn't even out yet. And so the very first thread pack that was done, which is what I have, is the Victoria Clayton silks. The second thread on there was wrong, and so I got the wrong thread, and then there were, I think I was missing 3 or 4 altogether, including that one of mine. And so as I began to stitch on this, since I saw you last, I stopped, because I was like, okay, stop. So I went over and I completely, you know, just honestly, when I got the threads, I whipped them in the bag, put my little thread key in there, and just didn't think a thing of it. But when it came to stitching it, I was missing things, and I was like, okay, I've got to stop, because I have to wait until I get my silks in. Because, you know, like I said, I was very first along, and there was a mistake, and then there was a couple missing threads. And Victoria's fantastic. It's on the way, but I had to stop, because it was like, okay, I like to do a little area, but I like to finish and not leave anything to go back to. And so I was having to go back to, so I stopped. But so this is what I got done since I've seen you last. But I stopped because I need to wait for these colors to come in, because there's one of the colors is very vitally important for what I'm doing. And so this is on 40 count Steinbeck, 36 or 40 count. I think I got 40 count, but I know it's Steinbeck because I ordered mine before this was even, before she even sent it to the printer. I ordered my fabric. So you know, it's 36 or 40, but it's Steinbeck, and it's what it was called for to be stitched on. And I'm very thrilled and excited. I'm not a hop around kind of girl. I started there and I will finish that page, but I need some threads to come in. So I'm waiting on that. So you will see this again. This is my Sylvia bag and it's packed with stuff. So I throw all of my Sylvia patterns in just one. So if I want to stitch on any of her beautiful patterns, they're all in one bag. Do you do that? I just think that's great. That way it's all together if you can do that. Okay, and then the next thing that I worked on, I am obsessively in love with this, and I worked a whole lot on it. It is from Scattered Seed Sampler. It's Anna Morgan, 1845, yes. And I am using the flower threads, and Brenda from Brenda and the Cereal Starter had talked about this. She finished this and she did it in flower threads, and I am doing this on 32 count. I think this is 32 count Autumn Leaves. I had 36 and 32 of it, and I'm telling you, I think it's the same thing, but I finished the grass and I began on the little girl. I have 2 urns and 2, well, it's basically 4 urns. So I've got the urns to go, and the top of the girl, and the year, and the 2 initials. I had told you I am going to be doing this to honor my mother-in-law. So it's going to have a DF in 1947, the year she was born. And so this is going to honor my mother-in-law, and I am so close to being done and so very excited. So isn't she beautiful? So that is something else I was working on. Fill-in is no joke when it's just straight grass, and then that skirt. So anyway, but I'm chugging right along, and those are my finishes and my whips. Okay, now let's show you some haul. I have some really beautiful things that I can't wait to share with you. If you've been around here for any amount of time, you know that Anne from 1803 Ohio Farmhouse Baskets is one of my very favorite weavers. She just about can barely put anything online that I am not like, oh, I have to have that. And she did a market basket. Would you look at this? With a rug hooked flower and a wool band. This is just so beautiful. I am in love with it. I love a good basket. It's got a nice wooden bottom, very, very well made basket. So very pretty. I told her, I said, I'm sharing it. She said, I better get to weaving. So there will be a link down below for her website. Just so beautiful. The rug hooking, she is just not, she's not a packer. She absolutely did a great job on that. And I love the wool band. It just gives it that beautiful prim, pretty touch. And I love baskets. I always have a basket sitting close to the back door of the main house, because I usually come over through the portico or wherever, and I just keep a basket back in the library, and I throw things in there that I want to bring over. And I love that because I can go back and forth, and you know, if I bring the basket over, I'll grab another basket to go back and take its place. So I love Anne's baskets. Do go check her out. And then Susan Stanley, this was the cutest little thing. She put these together, and from Susan Stanley, A Stitch in Time. She is who did the hand pieced and quilted quilt along that I had just showed you. She did these and made them herself. It was called a Festive Needlework Basket Peaceful Partridge. This is a little tiny sewing kit. Look at how little that, and I see here's one of my Quaker baskets. I love these. I love anything the handmade little wooden boxes. And she took that and she put 2 103 silks in here, a really pretty waxer. Let me put my hand right up there. She handmade the little pin cushion to go inside of it. Isn't that pretty? Then there's a little pattern. I'm going to hold it way back here because I don't want to show you. She put a little piece of greenery in there. And then she painted and paper lined the basket. So this is so cute. You can sit this and do this little stitching, or you could have this and have your little needle and your thread and your wax for your hand quilting in here. And I just absolutely love my little sewing basket that Susan put together. So very, very, very pretty. And so I love that. And her website will be linked down below. You can find her. And I think she's still doing these. Darling. Okay. And then I'll show you the items that I got when I went up to Findlay. It was Craft Gallery's Super Bowl sale. The Super Bowl was last Sunday, and so they had a big sale on Friday. And of course, you know, who doesn't love a good sale, especially when it comes to linen? You're going to laugh because you're going to see the biggest. I think this is a yard and a half, to be honest with you. And it was a big piece of vintage country mocha, and it's 28 count. And the reason why I bought so much was like several years back. I had started, and I have 2 of them finished across the room. They were the Country Cottage Needleworks. They were just the little samplers with the months, and so you could do them. I bought a perpetual calendar at an antique mall, and I want to paint it black. It's a wooden one, and it has the little, and you can move, you know, the little tiles with the numbers, and it came with all of the holidays you could stick in the place. And I want to paint it black, and I wanted to do each of those Country Cottage Needleworks. It's either Country Cottage or Little House Needleworks, but months. And I have February and March done because I think I started them in February, the year that I did that. And I can't tell you, I mean, it's been several years back, and they've been sitting in a bin. But they were on Vintage Country Mocha Ada. And they look fantastic, but I had stopped because I wanted to put them onto linen. And so you know, out of sight, out of mind. It's been in a bin for years. And so I pulled them out, and I was, you know, I'm very good and judicious about finishing my things. Like, I stitch it and I will go finish it, or I stitch it and I'll take it to the framer. All that stitching, I don't want it sitting in a box. No discrimination if you do, because some people are process stitchers, and the process of the stitching is just really their thing. And for me, I want to stitch it and I want to get it out. And so those 2 things have been just languishing in a box. And so I want to do the rest of them, so there's 10 more of them to do. But so they had this big piece, and it was really, the way it was cut into, it was kind of wonky. And my friend said, well, you know, why don't you ask them how much they'll sell you the whole piece for? And I was like, really? You think I need it? Okay. So I did, and they gave me a great price. So I bought this ginormous piece, and I can finish my series. And then, of course, Vintage Country Mocha goes with everything. So anyway, I bought a ginormous, all that to say this, I bought this ginormous honkin' piece of that. They had some bins that were filled, and I got some 36 count aged hazelnut Lakeside. Who doesn't want to buy Lakeside? You know what, I'm just going to pull it out so that you can see it better. So that's aged hazelnut. And then I got 36 count Antique Market by Lakeside. And I got a fat quarter of it. That was in the sale bin. And then I got a piece of 36 count XJU Designs bird cage. This is such a pretty, pretty piece of fabric. Oh, hold on just a second. I got to get it out of the Ziploc bag. But isn't that a beautiful fabric? So I got that. Those were all on the sale table. And then I got off the linen wall, which was regular price, I got some more Lakeside. And this is just exemplar. I had got a piece when my friend Holly from Hobbies of Holly, she had gone up and got me a piece, but they still had some, and this is such a good sampler color that I got another piece of it. And then I bought a piece of Sand Dollar, which is a Bestitch Me piece, and I got a half a yard of this. This is a really nice light neutral, really pretty sampler color. There, you can see the modeling better there. And so I got that. And then as well, while I was up at Craft Gallery, I grabbed, for something I'm working on, I grabbed some Gentle Arts, which is one of my favorites, cottons. I got Mountain Mist. And then I got 2 Shaker Whites because I bought this, the Alphabet en Blanc by Sue Hillis Designs. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? And I think that I've got a piece of linen sitting here that this will look beautiful. I think it'll look good on an exemplar. And I bought some of the Shaker White to go with. And so I thought that'd be really pretty. So that was my shopping haul from going up to Craft Gallery. Let me put that down here. I need to remember that I dropped a piece of paper with the linen name on the front. Then I stopped over to Keepsakes, my LNS, and got to visit the other afternoon there. And when I was there, I loved Stacy Nash's daughter, Taylor Nash. She makes these beautiful waxers. And I just love a pretty waxer. These strawberries, aren't they beautiful? So I bought those. I love to use wax. I always have, because it makes any type of thread behave. So, but I like to go dig in and see what they've got of Stacy Nash's daughter's things. And I bought those 2 strawberries. I also bought Plum Street's Autumn Fractor while I was there. As well as they have a trunk show because Summer House Stitch Works was the designer at Stitch Away for the winter retreat. And so they had a big, beautiful trunk show. I got Home Sweet Home. As well as I got Delft Blues. Isn't that beautiful? Anything blue. I love blue. And speaking of that, I think my favorite thing that I've seen for market this year is from Judy Whitman. And she did an absolutely gorgeous, stunning blue alphabet that is, I'm sure if you've been on social media, you've seen it. I'm so excited because I am going to be at Nashville Needlework Market. I'm going with Carrie and helping her buy for her boxes. And I can't wait to see Judy's booth. As a matter of fact, everything Judy Whitman put out this year is absolutely gorgeous. And so I think Shellie's pick for market this year is Judy's blue alphabet. It was gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And so anyhow, alrighty, what else did I get? I got my floss fix from Fat Quarter Shop. It is a stash builder. And this month, you got crushed pineapple, Cupid, dandelion stem, deep blue sea, deep fennel, and desert mesquite. So they are in the D's, and I got those. I was watching Just So Sherry on Flosstube, and she showed the cutest needle minders. Now, if I usually don't use a needle, well, this is a big, that's not true. I do use a needle minder. If I'm using my hoop frame, or if I have my hoop on a stand, and I will use a needle minder, but I am telling you something. Sherry showed, look at this. This is a tiny silver teacup and saucer. I don't think, can you see that? I just flipped when I saw that. She got this, this one, all of these that you're gonna see came from a shop on Etsy called Don't Step on My Needle, or Don't Step on Your Needle. Hold on one moment. Don't Step on Your Needle. Isn't that the cutest name? Well, I didn't just buy this. She showed this teacup and saucer, but she showed these China tea saucers. Can you look at this? Is this stuff not the cutest things? These are little tea plates. And then look, when I got on there, she had a tea plate with a dessert on it. So I got that one, and then I got this one, and then I got this cat. Because my daughter, I love my daughter, she's turned into the crazy cat lady. And that's a little cat in a teacup. And I bought that because it made me think of my daughter. So these are so stinking cute, and I hope you think they're cute because there's one in the giveaway for you today. So anyway, I got those from Don't Step on Your Needle. Links for all these places will be down in the description box. And then from Jen's Stitching Niche on Etsy, I got Blackbird Designs My Dear Hearts. There is nothing that Blackbird doesn't do that I don't love. But look at this one in here. I want to do that on Aztec Red. Wouldn't that be so pretty? Love it, love it, love it. And then Our Lasting Friendship. Got that. And then I also on Etsy picked up Souvenirs Deco. I'm not French, and you know I say that I butcher this, but it's from Reflet du Soir. Look at those samplers. Are those bands not beautiful? And here's what they look like on the back. So I got that as well. And so I got two more things. I'm so excited about them. Okay, so I'm part of the Homespun Needlework and Samplers group on Facebook, Shirley Karsavi's group. And oh my Lanta, Stacy Nash, this is the prettiest barn I think I've ever seen in my life. This is an exclusive for the Homespun Needlework and Samplers group on Facebook. This was done by Stacy Nash. Look at that barn. And then look at these pin keeps down here. Are those not beautiful? I got the whole kit. Acorns and Threads put this together, but you cannot buy this without a link. You have to go and you have to be part of the Homespun Needlework and Samplers group. I will put a link down below on the for the group so that you can go and get yourself one of these if you'd like. But you, as I said, you'll have to go onto Facebook and join the group, and the link is in the group there. That is the only way you can get your hands on this exclusive, and it is gorgeous. Bravo, Stacy. What a beautiful, beautiful sampler. That barn is just it. I love it. So I'll have a link below. If you do not know about that group, go jump on, because she's got some really cool things. And then I got one more thing. Everybody knows who Lori Brecklin is, Not Forgotten Farms. Her husband, Peter, oh my gosh, he does amazing things for Lori. And one of their, before I even say this, you know me and my hoops, me and my stands, they have created this. This is the hoop and stitch. Hoop and stitch? I want to make sure I give it the right name. One moment, please. Let me check my phone really quick. I want to give you the right name. Let's see. Here it is. The name of it is the Hoop and Stand. Hoop and Tray Needlework Hoop and Stand. Hoop and Tray. Peter takes a beautiful Harwick Manor hoop. This is a 6-inch. You can get an 8-inch. And if you buy one, you can buy the other one, and you don't have to buy the whole hoop and tray. But this sits nicely on your lap or on the table in front of you. It has a very strong magnet. Your Halo Glow daylight lamp will sit nicely on this, or any type of light and magnifier. And this is a really wonderful hoop stand right here. And when you take it apart, you can take it'll lay flat into your bag. You can just very simply give me just a second as I unscrew it here. It's very well made. You can take it apart, and it can lay in your bag nice and flat. So you have this, and then you just simply take the knob off, like that. Take your hoop off, lay it down, and voila, it'll fit nice and flat in your bag. And this is, I've stitched with this the last, since yesterday, and Shellie approved. I love it. And of course it's got he's taken this beautiful Harwick Manor hoop, and he's put a neck piece on it. It's adjustable up and down like this, and it really makes for a nice stitching. It's not, the tray is what's really super nice about it, because you can put your things on the tray and have it right there, and it gives a good base for your light or your magnifier. So that is from Not Forgotten Farms. You can purchase this on their Etsy shop, and there will be a link below in my description box. I absolutely love it. I had been waiting. They had sold out, but Peter hand makes these. These are all handmade. This is not production manufacturing. This is all handmade, and so he's done a fantastic job, and I love that. But I love everything about Lori Brecklin and Not Forgotten Farms. I love her designs, whether it's cross stitch, uncounted cross stitch, punch needle, rug hooking. She is just wonderful. And as a matter of fact, I went to Souter Village a couple years ago, and I got to meet her. I took a class with her, and she is just, she's everything that you see on her videos. She is a genuine, sweet, and funny lady. So anyway, go check out their Hoop and Tray, Hoop and Stand. Okay, so that's all of my haul, all of my stitching. So what do I got left? I have the giveaway for today. So what have I got for you? Well, on last video, I had showed my finish of Kind Words that I did in the little red pillow. That was the picture for the last video. This is the pattern, and this is a giveaway for today's video, Kind Words. And if you would like to participate, use the word forgotten. Forgotten. If you would like to have kind words from Lori, Not Forgotten Farms. Love that pattern. Very simple. And this is how hers looked like, but you saw how I did it on the 56 count with red last time. Okay, that is our first giveaway. Our second giveaway, this was a freebie pattern from Shepherd's Bush. It's called, it was a sheep freebie, but I picked this up when I was out at Shepherd's Bush in Utah, and it came, I got this and I got the button to go with it, and this is what it looks like. And if you would like to receive this, it's the pattern and the button that goes with it. Use the word sheep. Sheep. Okay. And then if you would like the needle minder, it is a china plate, little tea plate. I got one for you from Don't Step on My Needle. If you would like this needle minder from Don't Step on Your Needle, use the word tea. The word is tea. And then I was thinking ahead, and with Mother's Day not too far in the near future, I thought that you might really appreciate To Stitch Blackbird Designs Mother's Garden. And if you would like this blackbird chart, use the word garden. I have one for myself as well, and I am going to put all the initials of my children and my grandchildren on it. So that is garden if you would like this. As well, for our quilting friends, I absolutely love this book, and I bought 2 of them, and it's The Great Granny Squared by Lori Holt Designs. This is what it looks like, and it's her pattern book for the Great Granny Squared design, and she has all kind of stuff in here. And if you would like this pattern booklet, use the word granny. Granny. And then my sweet, sweet friend Denise from Goose Designs, she's just a doll face. She sent us 2 project bags for you. Look at that. The little lovebirds on there. Isn't that adorable? And then she also sent this one, and it's got the little bras and the breast cancer awareness ribbon. So we have 2 of those. And so for 2 lucky people, if you would like one of these bags from Goose Designs, use the word bag, and there will be 2 winners for that. Okay, now there's one other thing that I wanted to show you. Back when I went to the Farm Girl Dry Goods Retreat, my sweet friend Sherry, she hand-stitched 1/1 the cutest little thread blings for not just myself, but everybody at the table. And see, it's got the little tomato. And the other, oh, I'm trying to get you to be able to see it without the light ring in it. Can you see that well? Well, anyhow, you could see it better, but Sherry made this, and I love it, and I meant to bring it out of my Winterberry box and put it over in my tomato display. And she said to me, Shellie, I haven't seen your little thread bling. And I was like, oh my goodness, you haven't? Yeah, because I left it in my Winterberry box in the front little pocket. And so I never did share that with you, and I just love it. And all the things that I was given for Christmas from my friend Kathy Lounsbury when I did the Advent with her, she did some really cute tomato things. She actually had given me a salt cellar with a tiny little tomato in it that she had wool felted last year, and this is so perfect to stick on my tomato table. And here the whole time I had left it, I had it clipped so that when my case was open, you could see it hanging there. So she had reminded me, and I meant to show you that. So anyway, and that was the last thing. So anyway, that's everything for today. I've showed you my haul. I've showed you my whips and my finishes and all my favorite things. And we've talked about the giveaways from last time and this time. So Oh, that was pretty quick today, wasn't it? So anyway, if you have not hopped over and joined the Facebook group Antique Needleworkers Circle of Friends, do hop over and join our community. It is lively and there are beautiful stitchers and wonderful friends over there. We're just creating community. I had planned on this weekend doing a Zoom, but I did not because you know what? I'm not exactly sure how many people are going to hop on there because we immediately got 1,000 members to the group, and I thought, oh my goodness, I need to call a couple girlfriends and do a run through because I've never administrated a Zoom myself, although I've participated in many. And so I wanted to do a little run through with my friends, and I wasn't able to do that. So I am planning on announcing this upcoming this week when I'm going to do our first Zoom stitch-in. So if you would like to participate in that, I would love for you to join the group and jump in on the Zoom because I want to do that. It's all about you. You see all about me all the time. You don't need to know anything more about me, but I surely want to know more about you. And so do join the Facebook group, answer the questions, agree to the rules, and I will administrate you right in. If you want to participate in the giveaways, you must like and subscribe to the channel, and you must be 18. And but other than that, I think I've covered all my bases today, friends, and it was just a joy to come and visit you again today. I thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you again. Until then, I wish you many happy stitches. Bye-bye now.